Hi, all curious minds. In a previous video, I was talking about 1% improvements can help achieving your security goals. In this video, I'm talking about 1% improvements is a lie. Why I'm saying this? In theory, with compounding interest, improving a system 1% over the time, we can achieve much higher goals. But if we try to think about it in the practice, let's think about, for example, push-ups. Let's say I can do 100 push-up and I want to improve this 1% every day. After a year, we can see we will end up for 465 push-ups. 100 push-ups could be achievable, and it definitely good for my health, but achieving 465 push-ups may be, an unachievable goal. The problem with push-ups, if we try to put a little, how it's called, diagram next to it. So we have here time and value next to it. To achieve my goal with push-ups to feel better, to be healthy, maybe I need 100, and this will be my peak. To achieve this 100 push-up, maybe it took me 1 second to do one, and I only have a limited time to achieve this value. What we may not notice that this value has, for example, an optimal maximum. If I do, for example, 1 push-up a day, I can achieve 465 push-ups a day. But to reach this optimal value, maybe 120 will be enough. So, the problem with push-ups here is that we try to measure a metric and improve on that metric. But when we try to increase 1% at a time, we miss that there is an optimal maximum and we just went above it. This optimal maximum maybe can be increased over time, like muscle mass, but there will always be an optimal maximum. And here in this category, let's code coverages too. If we achieve 80%, then we are on the optimal maximum. What else we can think about when trying to apply the 1% improvements? Well, for example, our savings. So, our savings. Sorry for my English. So, what if I allocate 1% of my money to my saving account? In theory, it's great because over time, it will steadily increase over the years. Well, this is good news because now I'm saving money. Unfortunately, there are inflation, which will steadily lower the value that you put in your savings account. I can call this tendency as, for example, reserves. Like a stack of potato. I can put in my food reserve one potato every day, but over time they will be rotten and it will not serve well their initial value. So their value will diminishes over the time. And we think about 1% improvements would be great for this process. Well, fortunately, with reserves, we have this concept of interests. If we can figure out a way how to create interest, then maybe we can improve our savings in a much higher percent than it lose their value. The problem here with the 1% improvements is we're thinking about the reserve as a place that will constantly save the value that we put in them, and when we notice that the value diminishes over the time, we think the 1% improvement is a lie. Actually, we just need to figure out a way how to increase the interest rate. Right. Another category, the wasted. So, we all know some maze about this, like there is a guy in front of a desk, and there is a pile of paper in front of him. He just finished the last piece of the papers, and somebody came in and put on his desk a much bigger pile of paper. This is very comical, but there are many projects that are the same. And it typically starts with, we have an initial value of things to do, and over time, hopefully in a day, we try to achieve that everything is done. On next day, well, it refills. This is an average working day. With 1% improvements, well, we may achieve, okay, it's out. We may achieve our goals in a better, earlier. But what if somebody else puts us in a position where much more stuff gets into our daily pile than what we can achieve? And this means every day our stacks get higher and higher, and no matter what we try to do, it will not improve, because the pile just gets bigger and bigger. So the characteristic is, it will have an initial stack of things to do. It takes a long time to, well, lower the stack, but it will be filled up much quicker than it usually do, than we can handle it. And even if we try to fix this issue, it will not help us. So, but %1 improvements is still apply. Why? Because we can introduce, for example, one-shot improvements. For example, with the wasted effort, we can try to find a second person who can help us, so we can hire somebody. And with this, we can basically double, hopefully double, the processing time. Or with savings account, if we switch provider, and when we switch provider, for example, our saving, we just not just saving our money, but we are putting into stocks or a similar place where we have interest. When the switch is just a one-shot 1% improvement, in quotes, and it can resolve us in a much better position, and it will have this compounding interest rate. Or with push-ups, we can try, for example, measuring how many push-ups, what we can achieve. So, can I do 10 push-ups today? Maybe tomorrow I can do 11, and so on. But the core fact that we are now starting to do push-ups, it's the one-shot 1% improvement, and the other dimension of this value is how many I can do. But we are sometimes mistaking this one-shot improvement, and we can end up, for example, so the worst case scenario is the wasted efforts here. So I have a big stockpile of things to do, and I'm never able to get in on the end. And I think about a one-shot effort would be higher. So this is one person's achievement, hire a second one. But we mistaking hiring the second one person as an opportunity to solve the wasted effort problem. What it may be ending up is like we need to train the second employee, and basically the wasted efforts, well, get worse over the time. Or in cybersecurity, what I've seen a lot is when we try to introduce a new methodology around security, it not solves a problem. It just creates new responsibilities, so it will put more effort in our wasted effort bank, and it will never be ending. So it will never end. And we are tempted to think many things as projects. So a project has a starting percent, and it has 100% goal. And this is why we love projects, because it has a starting point and an ending point. And many projects has an optimal maximum. So there are many cases where we achieve the feature part of the project, and the rest is just maintenance and some similar stuff. But this is how we try to think about things in the future. But in an organization and around cybersecurity especially, we have something that starts and it never ends, because every time a new thing will eventually came up, a new vulnerability will came out, and the speed that you can reduce this the amount of work that you need to do, basically it's much more than you can achieve in an understandable way. So one-shot improvements can help you solve the different dimensions of this problem. Okay. For example, I'm stuck in my job, and I'm a IT guy. I can improve my work For example, this is going to be a wasted effort project, so I can improve my work with a one-shot technique called coffee. Or coffee is great with a cigarette. No, they are not. These are falsehoods. So, we have this concept. Yeah, we can do one-shot efforts to improve our life, our project with 1%. But we may be facing with false roots, and the characteristic maybe of these false roots could be something similar like this. We have a starting point. So time, yes. Value. We have a starting point. If we do nothing, it could be constant. With introducing this one-shot effort, then we have a peak, and it will go below of this graph, this line. And what we do if this happens, well, we are on the bottom, so we do another and another and another and another. But basically, in the end, we are getting worse and worse situation. And what we can see in this little slice that this may be resulting in a so-called scarcity loop. Scarcity loop. I'm just reading this, listening to this book, Scarcity Loops, that, well, try to teach us about how repeated task that has, how it's called, not non-productive value outcomes are so addicted. And this made me thinking about, well, maybe I should rethink about the different kind of task in the future, and maybe try to categorize different kind of project characteristics as does it have an unaccepted maximum? So it's achievable. That is my goal, to find a different kind of project that improvements that could help me achieve accepted maximum, or it is like a reserve, like so it's a reserve like thing that helps me to put value into the system, and over time others will help me increase the interest rate of that given value. Or is it a wasted effort, like metric project or thing to do, that over time will, well, basically not lead to anywhere. And to improve on this, I will try different kind of one-shot improvement tools or methodologies that could help me with my outcome over the time. But now I'm aware about there are false routes. For these false routes may seem that have a little spike of improvements in them, but with the scarcity loop, I can hopefully identify them much quicker, and maybe I can learn from the scarcity loop to encourage myself and others to transform some of their approaches and behaviors to accepted maximum, or, well, reserve-like thinking. So I was Zoltán Toma. I will leave the scarcity minds. Just need to look it up. So, Scarcity Brain from Michel Easter. His audiobook links in the description. I was Zoltán Toma, and this is the Curious Minds Collective. And see you in an upcoming video. Bye!